Everything you built is gone. The plan, the identity, the version of your life you were counting on. And now you're standing in what's left of it, being asked to start over. Like starting over is simple. Like it doesn't cost anything. Like you can just dust yourself off, smile for the camera, and move on to the next chapter. But you know better. You're standing in it right now. And it doesn't feel like a new chapter. It feels like standing in the ashes of the last one, wondering if you have anything left to build with. Nobody warns you about the weight of it. They talk about starting over like it's a clean slate, a fresh page, exciting even. They don't mention the grief, because that's what it is. Grief. You're not just losing a plan. You're losing the person you were building toward. The future self you'd already started to picture. Already started to become a little in your head. And now you have to let that version of you die before you can even begin building the next one. That's the part that actually hurts. Not the practical stuff, the logistics, the paperwork, the explaining it to people. It's the quiet, private funeral you have to hold for a future that isn't happening anymore. And you're expected to do it fast. Get back up. Move on. Stay positive. As if grief has a deadline. It doesn't. You're allowed to sit in the wreckage for a while. You're allowed to not have an answer yet for what comes next. The only thing that actually matters is that you don't mistake this pause for the ending. It's not the ending. It's just the part before the next beginning, and that part is allowed to take time. So let's say the thing nobody says out loud. It's allowed to hurt for as long as it hurts. Starting over doesn't mean starting over instantly. It means being willing to eventually start, not being unaffected by the fall. Here's the thought that keeps people stuck longer than the loss itself. I wasted years on this. That thought feels true. It feels like the whole point. But it's a lie, built out of pain, not out of fact. Nothing you built was wasted. Not the discipline you developed getting there. Not the version of yourself who learned to work hard, show up, endure difficulty. Not the mistakes that taught you exactly what doesn't work. Information you now carry into everything you build next. There's a particular kind of disorientation that comes with losing the thing you built your identity around. For a while, you don't know who you are without it. You catch yourself reaching for the old title, the old role, the old way of introducing yourself, and it doesn't fit anymore. That gap between who you used to say you were and who you are now is uncomfortable to sit in. Most people rush to fill it. They grab the first new label available just to stop the discomfort of not having one. Don't rush that part. The gap is uncomfortable, but it's also honest. It's the one moment in your life where you're not performing an identity. You're just a person, standing in the open, figuring out what actually matters to you before you decide what to build next. That's rare. Most people never get forced into that kind of honesty. You did. Use it. The path changed. The destination is gone. But you are not the same person who started that path. You're stronger than that person. Sharper. More aware of what actually matters. That's not waste. That's raw material. The only way it becomes waste is if you refuse to use it, if you let the grief convince you that none of it counted, and let that lie keep you sitting in the ashes longer than you need to. Think about the version of you from before all this. Would they have been able to handle what you just went through? Probably not. Not with the tools they had back then, but you did handle it. You're handling it right now, even in this moment of not knowing what's next. That's not nothing. That's proof. Proof of a version of you that didn't exist before this fell apart. The hardest part of starting over isn't the work. It's the not knowing where to start. Last time, you had momentum, direction, something to push against. Now there's just open space. And open space is terrifying because it means every choice is yours again, with no guarantee any of them are right. So here's the truth that makes it possible. You don't have to see the whole path to take the first step. You only have to know the next one. That's how everyone who's ever rebuilt anything actually did it. Not with a perfect plan. With this time, you were building on hope, on assumption, on a version of the future you'd never actually tested. This time, you're building on something realer, on the knowledge of exactly what collapse feels like and exactly what you're capable of surviving. That's not a worse foundation. It's a stronger one. The version of you on the other side of this isn't the same person who lost everything. They're the person who found out exactly what they're made of. So if everything just fell apart, let it hurt. Let it grieve. That part is real, and it deserves its time. But don't mistake the grief for the end of the story. It's not the end. It's the part right before the rebuild. You don't need the whole plan today. You just need the next step. Not the next 5 years. Not the whole rebuild mapped out in perfect detail. Just the next step. The one thing you can actually do today that moves you an inch away from the wreckage and toward whatever comes next. That's all anyone who ever rebuilt anything actually had. One step, then another. Then, eventually, without fully noticing when it happened, an entire new life standing where the old one used to be. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified because something you built fell apart. You're exactly where every single person who ever rebuilt something worth having once stood, in the wreckage, deciding what comes next. Take it. Start building. You've survived worse than starting over. And you'll survive this too. Not because it'll be easy, but because you've already proven, more than once, that you're the kind of person who gets back up.